The island was also given away in 1974 and the fishing rights were also given away in 76. To Pandit Nehru, this was a little island. It had no importance. He saw it as a nuisance. Why are people bringing it up again and again in Parliament? The Congress and the DMK have approached this matter as though they have no responsibility for it. We are talking 1958 and 1960. The main people actually saying, look, we have a case. It may not be 100% case. We don't know where this case may go. But at least we should insist minimum that we should get fishing rights. And as I told you at the beginning, the island was also given away in 1974 and the fishing rights were also given away in 76. And whether in 74 itself, was there any sincere effort to press for fishing rights? I think I'll leave it to you to conclude because 1976 shows otherwise. And perhaps to me the most basic, I would say recurring one, is actually the indifference shown by the central government, by the prime ministers of the day then, about the territory of India. That fact is, they simply did not care. This is an observation by the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in May of 1961. He writes, I attach no importance at all to this little island and I would have no hesitation in giving up our claim to it. I do not like matters like this pending indefinitely and being raised again and again in Parliament. So, to Pandit Nehru, this was a little island. It had no importance. He saw it as a nuisance. Why are people bringing it up again and again in Parliament? So, for him, the sooner you give it away, the better. There is a member of Parliament called G. Vishwanathan from Tamil Nadu. And he says, this is I'm quoting from Parliament records, we are worried about Diego Garcia, thousands of miles away from Indian territory, but we are not worried about this small island. When we speak of it, the Prime Minister, he's talking about Indira Gandhi ji, the Prime Minister is said to have remarked in the AICC meeting that this is a little rock. I am reminded of those days when Pandit Nehru called about our northern boundary as a place where not a blade of grass grew. I would like to remind the Prime Minister that after this historic statement by Prime Minister Nehru, Pandit Nehru never regained the confidence of the country. This is going to happen to the Prime Minister when she says this is only a little rock and that there is nothing to worry about the territories of our country. So, as you can see, this is not just one Prime Minister, whether it was Pandit Nehru or whether it was Indira Gandhi. This very dismissive attitude, this little rock, this small island of no importance, this was the historic Congress attitude towards Katchatheevu. Looking at these two issues, the Katchatheevu issue and the fishermen issue, two parties, the Congress and the DMK, have approached this matter as though they have no responsibility for it. As though the situation is for central government, today's central government for them to resolve. There is no history to this. This has just happened. They are the people who are taking up the cause. That is the way they would like to project it. So the purpose of the press conference today, why I am talking to all of you, is we believe that the public has a right to know. The public has a right to know how did this situation come about. How was Katchatheevu, how was the 1974 agreement reached, how was Katchatheevu given away, how was the fishing issue handled? Because please understand, the fishing issue actually emanated from a 1976 agreement. So there are two agreements we are talking about. So because these have been live issues, because they have been discussed, because they have been discussed earlier also in Parliament, 2 documents were sought from us as an RTI request. And these were provided. One was a document about Ministry of External Affairs, summary background note for the meeting of the Informal Consultative Committee in 1968 on this issue. And the second was a record of discussion of a meeting between the then Foreign Secretary and the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Honorable Kalaignar Karunanidhi, in June 1974.